The last time I played Doom was a week ago. Because I own it on Steam. And Doom is the shit. So
I can't play the
I
new
still
one because
have-
it'll give me a seizure.
Somewhere in this house, in one of the crates or boxes from when we moved, I still have the original 15 diskette copy of it. Yeah. 3.5-inch hard drive or
that's
flop,
hardcore.
or whatever.
I think the largest DOS game that I owned was
Oh,
Tex.
DOS, dude.
Tex Murphy's Under a Killing Moon. And it was like 5 discs. It's like 5 floppies.
Heretic. Remember that game?
Heretic was sick. That was like Doom with like witches and magic and shit, right?
I used to be so enthralled by that game. Oh my god.
We started, by the way. Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to Laser Engraving After Dark. It's just Friday Live Day, guys. We're all tired and we're just hanging out and shooting the shit. So if you're here to hang out with us for Friday Live Day, welcome. I know that J-Max in chat. What's up, boy? We got Ben E and Michael. What's up, Michael? Second and third. Very nice, guys. Don't forget to smash the like button. Let everybody else know the content is good. I just realized when I turned on my camera today, I was like, man, it's really dark. So I turned my exposure way up on my camera, but I just realized none of my lights are on. All of my lights are off.
Oop.
I gotta turn my lights on. It's gonna blow everything out.
And I was gonna say it's still that bright. They get some good light, brother.
I see.
Alex is about to be,
laser beams.
Alex is about to be the Halo.
There we go. Oh,
Yeah, so we started playing.
man. So I got all that footage that I needed to get for the voltage testing video yesterday.
Nice.
Was it yesterday?
Yes, you did.
I think it was. I think it was yesterday. Was yesterday the day I electrocuted myself?
It was.
Yes, that was yesterday.
Yeah. Oops. I'm
I
gonna have to.
I heard that.
I'm gonna have to put like a major disclaimer on that episode. That's just like, this is for It's basically gonna say this is for educational use only. You know what I mean? Like, don't attempt to do anything in this video. It was spooky, dude. I spooked the shit out of myself doing that. It hurt. It was a bad one.
If you injure yourself, it was your doing, not ours.
Yeah, don't at me, bro. But
Yeah,
dude, so the whole reason I'm doing this video, I never would have done a video like this. I got a multimeter from Kai Wheats. They were like, hey, do you want to review our multimeter? And I was like, I could use a decent multimeter. So I said, yeah. And then I was like, I don't want to just do like a review, you know, because that's like really advertisement-y. So like, what can I teach with this while I have it? And I came up with the like voltage testing, because people's power supplies go bad like all the time. You guys notice that? Like in Discord and stuff. So I was just like, I'm going to just do a quick video on how to test your power supply and make sure that the components are getting the voltage that they're supposed to be getting. It's really basic, but the multimeter is actually like pretty sick. So I'm stoked to throw that together. So that'll be the episode coming up here pretty soon. But that's what I'm working on. I just put the mirror review out. Did you guys all watch it?
Yes, it was classy.
Did you like it? You haven't seen it, Pat?
Sorry,
Oh.
I've been too busy since
Dude.
it came out.
Yeah, no,
Alex
you have.
raised the bar of cinematic
My bad.
with that one.
It's pretty tight. I mean, it's just pretty. It's
I
just
was-
pretty looking.
I was pretty shocked, like some of the shots you had for a one-man crew. Like Kyle and I talked about it. I was like, did Miranda like go in and like do the gimbal or something? And he was like, no, that was just him. I was like, oh, that's
Dude,
pretty good.
I got like 30 or 40% of those shots literally like one-handing the camera. I can't take all the credit for it though. The R6 has like really good in-body image stabilization. So that's to thank for a lot of it. Let's see what's up in chat. Miranda's here. E3, what's up? Hanging out playing Battlefield. Nice. I like it. Kyle, what are you doing? Let's see. Paul, what's up? Paul, Jack in the Shop's here. How's it going? Chris Shields says joined the Laser Master Academy. Need some help on the 100 watt ohm tech I got. Looking for plywood cutting and engraving settings. Ooh.
What's the thickness?
For 100 watt. Oh, I was thinking like 100 watt ohm tech fiber. I was like, I got bad news for you, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I did too. Oh,
Yeah, no,
What's
that makes
thickness?
sense. Yeah, what's the thickness? Kyle can help you with that.
Give us the deets
I'll think
on
she-
the 3 C's.
Matt D, what's up? Kevin
Yep.
Smith, how's it going? High beam laser engraving. Good evening. So, Patrick,
What's up?
you're not at home.
No,
You're in a hotel room.
I am in a hotel room.
What are you doing, man?
Oh, living the dream. On vacation down here in Cuba. It's awesome.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it. No, that's a state VFW convention here in West Virginia for the weekend.
Nice, nice. And this is a laser event, yeah, for you?
For me, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Been working on a big project that is being unveiled, well, today and more so tomorrow, and will be on sale and available to the public soon. But it's a knife and display plaque that commemorates Corporal Woody Williams, who is a World War II veteran. He's 98 years old. He's from West Virginia and still lives here. And all proceeds are going to benefit the West Virginia VFW, at least for the first 200 knives
Yeah.
that are sold. I have approval from National VFW to use their logo. So first couple hundred
That's
knives
huge.
are going to,
Yeah.
yep. And they, let's see, knives that are ordered with the large display plaque will come with a certificate of authenticity and serial number.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
And I've done it all. I've picked up the lumber, I've cut the lumber, I've routed the lumber, engraved the lumber, sanded it, finished it. I made the certificates. I made the stamps that stamped the names on the certificates. Did those with the CO2.
You've
I
been
engraved.
working on this for
the
like a
sheath
really
print.
long time, and you haven't really been able to
Yeah,
talk
it's-
about it.
it's
Yeah,
really
it's been a
cool
couple
seeing it come to
months.
fruition for you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple months in the making, but there's the sheath. But this is a USMC K Bar, and I have Woody's signature digitized and engraved in the
That's so
bloodline.
Yeah.
Then we have the date and his quote about Iwo Jima, which was to hell and back. And the date he was there, he was a demolitions expert and received the Congressional Medal of Honor, which you'll see engraved also there on the blade. And then on the curve of the blade, we have Battle of Iwo Jima engraved. Then on the back side, we have
Yeah, it's everywhere, dude.
Yeah.
yeah, we have let's see, should be the Iwo Jima there. Sorry, I'm in a hotel. It's terrible. VFW, and then the West Virginia silhouette.
Nice.
And then on top, right here on the spine,
This is what
probably,
stick
camera
to me,
probably won't
dude.
pick it up. Right here's the serial number.
Yep.
So it's HWW. This one is 027. What's it? 26. HWW 026 VFW.
What are those going
So
for?
this with the large plaque will be $500. Again, this is all benefits.
Right.
All proceeds are for the VFW, but here's the plaque.
Awesome.
Oh, and those are 3D printed.
That is
Those are 3D printed
killer.
brackets
yes.
he made.
I
dude.
also designed these.
like everything.
Also designed these. Yeah, I designed the mounts for this knife. Hold on. And then 3D
you should
printed
have
them.
so much pride. It's so badass, dude.
So I designed the mounts, 3D printed them so that it holds it nice and level.
Nice.
Very nice, man.
So that's
Yeah.
what we
So
got.
damn cool.
Dude, look, did you see how like he tilted it forward and didn't even like move
Yeah.
at all?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Wild. Wild.
Super cool.
3D printers are awesome. I just never knew how awesome they were.
So
I
did
got
you
into that sooner.
sell any today?
Let's see. All of the large plaques and knives that I brought will be gone by the end of the day tomorrow.
Nice.
Wow.
Very cool.
Great work, man.
So I'm happy that will be out for the public to see. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Quick story is the gentleman from the VFW I've been working with. He traveled to Woody Williams' house and actually got him to sign an index card. And he got 3 different versions of his signature. Brought the original to me. I scanned it with flatbed scanner, brought it into Illustrator, got it traced, digitized, looking nice, and then was able to put it on the knives and the certificate.
Yeah. Yeah.
So damn cool.
What a journey. I mean, I remember you like started this in like January. Like it's been in the making all year.
It sure feels like it.
Yeah. So that's really awesome, man. I'm glad that it all came together.
And you really took it from start to finish. It sounds like there were so many little projects in there on the laser to add up to one massive, awesome project.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything pretty much the laser has touched except the 3D printed mounts. But I tell you what, to make those holes line up and be perfect, I run several circles with the CO2 when the Plaques engraving so that it burns about halfway through the board.
Yeah.
Then I just finish drilling the rest out. They're straight and perfectly lined up every time.
Yep.
Like a quick press. Nice.
Yep. Before it gets buried really quick, Kyle, Chris Shields said CO2 7 millimeters.
7 millimeter is like right around a quarter of an inch.
Yeah.
For quarter-inch perch, I run, depending on if your potentiometer on your power supply is running high or low, you could be anywhere from like 15 millimeters a second up to like 25 millimeters a second to cut at like 85% power.
Yeah, I was gonna say like 1490 is what I do for quarter inch.
Yeah.
But you know, it depends. Like that potentiometer setting is really important.
Yeah.
So
It'll get you into the ballpark.
totally.
Give it a try. If it cuts through, you know it's good. If not, run a second pass or adjust as needed.
Yep. And Matt, school's out, and you've been working on a project for Laser Everything. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, after hearing Patrick's stuff, man, it's like
it's different. Apples and oranges, man. Apples and oranges.
Oh yeah, apples and rocket ships, man. Patrick, I'm just super proud of you, buddy. But anywho,
thank you.
Yeah,
that means a lot, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's just so impressive. So basically what I've been doing is kind of getting some time to actually sit and think and do some work and put some stuff together. Talking with Kyle, talking with Alex, a couple other people about some future videos coming out. Really working hard to try to get the accountant to talk to me, but man, I am telling you, that is like, so I thought the accountants kind of just like ended. It's like, you know, almost like school teachers where it's like, oh yeah, the season's over, woo, and they just kind of did some normal stuff, and apparently they never stopped. So good to know.
Maybe Laser Everything needs to write a check to the accountant for 2 hours of their time, so that we can just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, float the idea over and be like, hey, friend. But yeah, because she's like a wealth of information. She's helped me a ton.
Yeah.
But anywho, the other thing, are you talking about the 101? Is that what you're shooting for?
Yeah. I mean, you can bring up the glossary too if you want.
Yeah. So a couple of things that are going on is actually, I know Miranda has said it in her video on a live stream. I know we've talked about it in the Discord. And it's just all the questions that people ask about all the time, which is like, hey, I'm looking to do this kind of a project. What's the type of laser I should use? What is a diode laser? What's the difference between a diode and a fiber and a CO2 and all that stuff? So we're working on a Laser 101 video for you guys. So basically, it's going to be very general. It's going to be, the whole point is kind of like brevity, which is oddly not my thing I'm known for. But really, it's just going to be trying to introduce people who just give them a resource so they can kind of say, you know, what projects am I trying to do? What information do I need to know to get going, really, right? And then the other thing that we're working on, too, is a lot of times we talk about words that people don't know because there's so many people starting at so many different points. Because if you bought a diode then you know about focus, you know about millimeters per second versus millimeters per minute and all that kind of stuff. You know about the different measuring tools, you know about all the different, just the vocab. So as a teacher, it's just one of those things I thought about, and I know Alex actually is the one who actually brought it to fruition. He was like, hey man, I really want to take vocab up to the next step and make a glossary for these people, so that you kind of have like a web. So when you're watching a video, so like let's say Kyle produces a video about diodes and he's making jigs. Okay, well, what is a jig, right? What's he talking about? What is a diode? What is the air supply that he has? Why do I need an air supply? What's the point of it? And those are going to be just like 2-minute short videos to kind of help you guys kind of have just a composite knowledge.
Maybe even shorter. So like, and then if you any video that you watch, if there are important terms in that video, those YouTube explanations for those terms will be linked in the description. So you can literally click one and follow up, and it'll just be like, hey guys, it's Alex over at Laser Everything. You clicked the video for laser module, you know what I mean? And I'm just going to define it, give a really quick explanation, and then you can go back to whatever you were watching. And the glossary terms will be linked everywhere that they appear on the channel. So if you find yourself confused or you're not keeping up with a certain topic, or there's any relevant information for those words, you'll be able to find them. They're really quick and easy to make, and anybody on staff can make them in just a couple minutes.
You should see everybody.
Yeah, you'll see everybody pop up in that, and we'll just kind of build this glossary library over time, and I think that'll be really helpful in conjunction with kind of that Laser 101 video, just to kind of get your bearings, you know. So 2 projects we're really excited about.
Yeah, and like honestly, like a ramp test for the first month that I had a CO2 laser, I had no idea. I thought a ramp test was like something where it changed the power and alternated it as it went. It's literally just it's a fucking ramp. Yep,
totally.
So,
Wendy's here. What's up, Wendy? Good to see you. Tony Richards, hi from Australia, boys.
Hey, Wendy.
STL Gamer, and lots of compliments in the comments here for you, Patrick. I see you saw them already, but that's awesome. Somewhere in between says, like a glossary of terms. That's fantastic, but making all of that, you'll have to write your scripts out, right? Just always post all of them. I don't know. So we'll make the videos and then just put them in a glossary playlist, and then link to them in the description for videos where those terms are mentioned. So shouldn't be too much work. Should be pretty easy, honestly.
Yeah, and actually, that was one of the things we had thought about too, is like focusing for a galvo is way different than focusing for a CO2. So basically making sure you have the right one for it.
That's how glossaries work though, right? I mean, it would say focusing and then in parentheses fiber. And yeah, I mean, that's, pretty straightforward. But Kyle, busy man.
Yo.
What's up, dude? So tell the people how long this jigs video has become.
84 years.
Yeah, basically. I was at an hour and 57 minutes when I last caught up with live stream. I think it was last week we mentioned it.
Yeah.
That was before I finished importing the rest of the raw footage and cutting it down. I think total in raw footage I was over 20 hours. Cut down, I was down to like 2.5 hours, and then that was with partial time lapses in place just to speed up like scrubbing through the footage and removing like junk.
Yeah.
At this point, I think I'm down to like, we're splitting it into 3 videos because I feel like
that's kind of where I was going with my question. Yeah.
An hour and a half is just too long to sit through a single entry-level jig video. So
yeah,
I'm breaking it down so that, for example, if you have a galvo laser, a fiber, UV, or a CO2 galvo, you have a video you can refer to for entry-level jigs. In my case, obviously, I have a fiber and not any of the other 2. So I discuss how I make them with my CO2, and I also discuss an alternative for how you can make them without another laser to assist you. Or if you have a diode in a fiber and not a CO2. So I kind of go through all the options.
Yeah, that diode fiber combo I feel like is really important, because if you have a fiber and you don't have a CO2, you go to buy a CO2, you're spending at least $2,000, at least.
For
But
like a bare bones one.
if you only have a fiber and you need to make jigs, anybody can pick up a diode laser for like $200, $250, and it's doable. I'm sure it's slow, you know, and a little messy, but it's doable. You can do it.
You could even design it in Lightburn. If you don't have Lightburn, use the trial version because you get a 30-day trial.
Yep.
Or use Illustrator if you want. Export it to scale, print it, glue stick it to a piece of MDF. And use your wood tools on it.
Yeah. Awesome.
You have options. You could use a scalpel and just cut through whatever. I mean, there are so many ways you can do it.
Nerd, 3D printer people.
Yep.
Yeah.
They got everything.
Yeah. And then
there's options.
After the jig video is done, we're going to finally be talking about like a full review on that Wisely sitting behind you, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this guy's getting a full review after that. So
Mira style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna do my best. It's gonna be as cinematic as
I want a
limited
sexy
brain can
bass.
do.
I want to hear like.
We're not that kind of stream, Matt.
Not yet.
Onlyfans.com/laser everything.
After dark.
So yeah, we're gonna have a full blown episode on the Wisely as a review.
I ask because I see Kalio in the chat. Hi Kalio. I'm sure he's wondering where his review is. It's coming. So we're gonna do this this Wisely review inside and out. I know Kyle's been planning it for a long time. In general, have you been happy with it so far? Do you think your review will be generally positive?
Generally positive, yeah.
Yeah, good.
It's a strong contender. Haven't really had too many issues.
Yeah.
The only real big issue I had, which wasn't a real big issue, was on the initial night we put it together. It was just the Z-axis.
Oh yeah.
The focusing.
Yeah.
That came unplugged.
Right.
So we just pulled the case off and plugged it in, and 100%.
Yeah. Sweet.
The other issue I had with it was it wasn't marking. Turns out that was a software issue, so that was my problem.
Nice.
I stepped away from the computer, restarted everything after the live stream that night. Restarted EasyCAD, and it was happy. So.
Yeah. Well,
I have a question for you on your video. Are
Yeah.
you going to be talking about colors at all? Because I know like everybody wants to hear about MoPA and colors, and I know you showed something to a few of us. Yeah, is this it?
Yep, this is it.
It's
right
funny
here.
you mentioned colors, but yes.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it just right.
No, you got it right there, right there.
Yep, right there.
Go
That's
down a
it
little bit.
for sure.
Oh my goodness, that's the spot.
Those are juicy, man.
So
Those colors.
we will be not necessarily part of the review. It will be to some degree since it is a MoPA machine, but
Yeah.
we will be diving into colors here. So
Just like a separate video adventure.
that will be
for sure, man.
entirely its own. It's such a big rabbit hole.
I started this YouTube channel last May, and I've been getting questions about doing colors with MoPA lasers, and I avoided it until I was able to hire a staff member, and now it's his problem. So let him do it. Yeah, enjoy that.
Hey guys, I'm the MoPA guy.
Yeah, that's right. You're Geo 2.0. You're Geo, except you're on camera.
Geo has
Neo
a
Geo.
That's a definite 100% dig at you, Geo. Where are you, man?
So I'm sharing a couple pictures that were inspired by Kyle with his jig knowledge and the work he's put into the jig episode. You can see those in the admin chat on Discord. But I made jigs using his advice and some ideas, and then made some tweaks to actually engrave these knives.
Nice.
Did very well.
I'll pull them up and share them.
Yeah, pull them up.
Yeah, the 4mm
I went-
the light what you didn't light burn, dude. Oh my god, that was so sick.
Yeah, those pictures are buried somewhere in that one chat.
So that's correct me if I'm wrong, Patrick. That's the vertical orientation where you're doing the back of the blade there.
That is correct. It's which one you got on camera?
That's the serial number.
Yes, that is the serial number. That's spine of the blade. That's about 4.2 millimeters wide.
That's so tiny.
This is the jig you made, where you cut a couple of the layers, and you had it up on its up on its belly.
Yep, and then I cut a slot for the blade guard to fit down in.
Yeah.
And then we got one more here I missed. So this one's another multi-layer.
Yep, and that started. Yeah, you can explain how that jig came about.
Yeah, so basically when Patrick was talking to me, because we knew we wanted, he knew I was working on a jig episode and he wanted some input, and basically I just said the way I would go about it is take a top-down photo, kind of like how you would do for engraving, like how Alex did in the prep video for tracing the edge of like a knife top-down in Illustrator. And you would basically do that for the whole knife instead of just the blade, like the engraving area. And once you do that, you basically have a schematic of the outline of the knife, and you know that the handle is going to be sitting lower than the blade. So you have one for the entire blade, then you have one for just the handle, and you cut enough layers to support the handle. And once you're above where the handle is supported, you cut a full knife one so that you stop the blade from turning.
Nice.
So.
Yep. That's dope.
But Patrick did a really great job with that. So.
Yeah, it looks awesome. That's super cool. I can't wait to see this jig episode, dude. I'm stoked. Been stoked. Also, really quick, I just want to shout this out. Christian Michael is asking in chat, I recently purchased a Laser Pecker 2. Congrats, it's expensive. I was wondering if anyone can tell me if the actual engraving beam is separate from the demo or sample beam. Should I be wearing eye protection? I'm pretty sure that Christian's asking about like a red light that we would have on a fiber, but I don't know if usually the diodes for their framing lasers use the diode, not some kind of beam combined red light, and I can't imagine the Laser Pecker is any different. I'm not speaking from experience because I haven't owned one, but if I had to guess, if I had to bet my money just based on what I know about diodes in general, I would say that they are probably using a low power output of the diode beam to do whatever framing they're doing. So I would be wearing eye protection. That's my gut feeling, just based on what I know about diodes. Again, I don't know that for a fact. I've never had a Laser Pecker 2, but I would probably be recommending you put eye protection on for that.
Yeah, better safe than sorry.
Which would be $455 for diodes. So make sure whatever safety glasses you get are rated at least OD6 plus for 455 nanometers. You can check out, if you want really good ones, you can go to noirlaser.com and check out the KTI lenses. Are their best. Yeah, they're expensive, but they're the best.
They are.
For especially that wavelength can be kind of hard to find legit glasses for. So check out the KTIs from NoIR. Probably be your best bet. David Mcclure has got a storm rolling in. Very cool. Gotta go. Internet acting stupid. See you later, David. Thanks for stopping by.
Somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Real quick, I've been chatting with them, and so a few comments ago, it says Linus Tech Tips just half an hour ago is saying all the paint will wear off metal. Is that a laser engravement with color? Since we were talking about the MOPA and how it can help to create some colors if you practice with it. And then they said, how does that hold up to wear and tear or use? I'd like to have an argument for later tonight on the forums to the paint argument. So Kyle, you probably know better, I think, how to discuss that. Like, it's not paint.
Yeah, it's not paint. So I don't I do follow Linus Tech Tips in all fairness, but I wasn't following him a half an hour ago when he said that, so
Yeah.
I don't know what that's in reference to.
I think they're just saying, like, what is an anneal versus what is paint?
Yeah, so paint is a surface coating that is it's bonding to the surface of the metal, whereas with something like this, where it's kind of like an anneal, with MOPA and with getting anneals, you're changing the structure of the metal at the surface of the engrave, and you're not really even engraving it, because you're not ablating when you're adding color like that. So when I was doing those, there was absolutely zero sparks. It was quiet. I could hear the galvo head over everything else in the shop. So
Yeah,
you would be scraping metal off to get rid of that mark.
you're changing, though, just to be fair, you're changing just the like top few layers of atoms on that metal. Like so if you take it to a surface grinder, it's going to grind away. Like, I mean, it's not, I don't know if I would, is it more durable than paint? I think that's arguable, but is it like invulnerable? No.
For context, I'm taking a knife to the top of this that I just showed you.
And? Did you bust it up?
Let me wipe it off.
Okay.
So you can see it's still partially there where I didn't go super, super deep.
Yeah.
But it took a knife scraping pretty hard into that to remove any of it.
Yeah.
So unless you're really trying, it's going to last a while.
Yep. Cool.
This
we
is
done-
my
We should
with
do
my
it.
non-MOPA. I posted a picture there in chat of just where I was planning for 3 specific colors, but I've ran tests on that stainless steel pan, or stainless steel frying pan. That is my test pan, and some stainless steel pendants, and I left the pendants outside for months. And I've got limited colors with some like reds, blues, and other shades, and I haven't had any rust on any of those yet. And the pan sits in my basement, so it's just your mileage may vary.
So
with
just-
what colors you can get,
it's just
and how much rust you're going to see.
Are those high frequency marks, Pat? Like
Yes,
by
those
high, I
are
mean like
very
over 100.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Cool. So
Somebody
Yeah.
had a question: can you get it with a non-MOPA JPT?
that's why I was asking. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because non-MOPA JPTs will generally run you to 400 or 600 kilohertz, which is plenty to get a lot of colors. The thing that the MOPA really helps with is that you can change the pulse width, and that pulse width allows you to. So when you have a non-MOPA laser and you raise the frequency, the beam gets weaker because it doesn't have as much time for each of those pulses to put out the same amount of energy. With a MOPA laser, you can maintain that power output at higher frequencies, so you can hit the metal more often without losing power. And that's where you get that kind of like fine control dial. The frequency is like the macro control dial for colors, and then having that pulse width setting is kind of like the fine control dial. So you can really dial things in, get exactly the colors you want. And that's why they tend to rust a little more too, because I think when you have the ability to output more power at those higher frequencies, you are upping that risk of ablation. And then when you ablate, even if it doesn't look like it's ablating, even if it doesn't sound like ablating, you've messed with the integrity of the metal at that point, and you start to have problems with rust. So this is all things that we're going to expand on when we get into MOPA lasers. We're going to get into it this year. But I think that's why people with MOPAs struggle with rusting, and you're not, Patrick, is because you are far less likely to accidentally micro-ablate your metals with your non-MOPA laser than a MOPA user who's working with much higher power levels at those high frequencies. So if that sounded really
like
technical to you, like we'll get into it, but
Like,
That makes sense.
yeah.
I was gonna say it's like a steak knife versus a scalpel. They're both doing the same action, but one's way more precise.
Yeah. So Anyway, is it doable? Sure. Yeah, absolutely. You don't have the fine control, but you can still cut the steak. So
Realistically, even if you don't have a JPT, if you have like a Raycus or a Max source,
yeah,
you can achieve colors. They're going to be less consistent because at the end of the day, if you don't have control of your frequency to that extent, you need to gain control of it somehow. You can kind of fake control it by making the beam bigger or the dot size bigger. You go way out of focus.
yeah, because the whole point of raising the frequency is to reduce your laser's impact on the metal so that you're not ablating it. So if you can't get your frequency high enough to do that, then yeah, Kyle's absolutely right. You would move to defocusing and getting a larger dot size in order to do that. But you're really brute forcing it at that point, and you're gonna have consistency issues for sure.
And loss of detail too.
Yeah.
I wonder, are you gonna maybe do like a microscope if and when you do that series? I mean, I feel like that'd be really cool to see.
I could make videos for a year on this topic, which is why I haven't done it. Honestly, it's why I haven't done it. Oh yeah, no, Kyle. Rip Kyle.
I will probably have to get a microscope to begin with on that.
Yeah, dude.
All right. Well,
go check out the microscope review.
Yeah,
you've got a fancy microscope holder there too.
Yeah, that's true on the air assist. That's right.
Got another person asking about cutting 1/4-inch wood. So Philippine said he's looking to cut 1/4-inch wood. I said that a Gantry CO2 would be the best bet if you're going to be cutting a lot of wood, right? Like if you're doing precision, if you're going for, it doesn't really matter. To me, that's the best machine for it.
Yeah.
And then they asked about manufacturers. I know we've got links to people you trust and use, right?
First of all,
there's so many.
There's a reason they call the flatbed CO2s laser cutters.
Yeah.
They're for cutting. So definitely that over anything else. Don't buy a Galvo laser to cut. That's not what they're for. As far as brands go, I know Patrick and Kyle are super happy with theirs that they got. They have the same machine. You can't go wrong with the Ohmtex if you're handy and willing to put some TLC into them. You can get them operating really, really well, but they do take some work out of the box. And then we just published the episode on the Mira, so if you want to plug the thing in and not touch it at all and just start using it, Mirror is a great option. You have to do a little mirror alignment, but that's it. And I really enjoyed it. We gave it an 8.6 out of 10, which is great on our rating scale. So you can go check that out. It's literally the last video that we published on the channel. And check that out too. Kyle, can we get a link in the description to your machine?
Yes, but I would also hold off on my machine.
Okay, baby.
Power supply go out, and customer service is bothering me a little bit right now.
For sure.
I've got a Boss too. If we're just talking about other ones, I know I've got a Boss laser, and it's a U.S. reseller basically. But they got some really good service, and I've got 150 watt, and that thing literally is a tank. Like it, whatever I throw at it, it's just kills it.
I did throw the buying guide up too.
Nice, thank you. At the end of the day, a Gantry CO2 is a Gantry CO2. They all have little differences. They all come a little better or worse from the factory. They all come a little more or less expensive, but they all do essentially the same thing. It's just how much work do you want to put into it versus how much money you want to spend on it. So. And
that was one of the things that I know J-Mac and I had talked about too this weekend is like you can have an expensive one or a cheaper one. Stuff breaks, you know. Yep. But then we got videos here to show you how to fix it.
Yep.
So, let's see. Andy says ZMark is good, but is there a stronger black mark with a non-MOFA JPT with a higher frequency?
I've seen people do it. I haven't tested it myself. I don't do Z-marking enough to need it to be faster, but a lot of people do complain about the speed because it's a slow mark. You have to get the steel really hot to pull off a nice Z-mark. So
the benefit there is it's also you kind of structured that around being functional for everyone no matter the source too.
Yeah, but yeah, that's very true. So the ZMark does. I think the ZMark uses a frequency of like 25. So like literally anyone can use that mark. So I'm sure there are higher frequency anneal style marks that will give you that black. I just haven't experimented with them yet because I try to keep things accessible regardless of source. That's a really good point, Kyle. I didn't even think about that.
That is probably something we'll touch on when we start getting into colors at some point.
Black's a color, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I threw up another picture of a blue for the guy that was asking about the non-MOPA JPT. That's an axe that's 5 months, no rust.
Nice.
That's sick.
I'll upload up.
I've seen it mentioned a couple of times in the Discord that lasering out of focus, that it can mess up galvos or the laser source. Can someone explain how or why this would happen? The only thing that I can think of is Flashback. There's the axe, that blue. That's really nice. 5 months, no rust on that.
Correct.
Beautiful,
That's just
man.
sitting in your basement?
Yeah, that's so
Wow.
nice.
Yep.
That looks great. So flashback is when the beam comes out of the galvo head straight down onto the piece and then hits it and bounces straight back up into the galvo head. Somehow manages to hit both the mirrors and go back through the fiber optic cable and hit the source, destroying it. It's insanely rare. It happens very, 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 very infrequently, but it can happen. It can, if those photons strike the mirrors the wrong way inside the galvo, it can damage something inside the galvo head. It can damage your laser source. That said, most modern fiber lasers have anti-reflection coatings on their lenses, and you're only more likely to have a flashback issue by down focusing. So if you're doing a ZMark, right, you should be raising the galvo head further away from your ideal focal point, not getting closer than your ideal focal point. Bringing that galvo head down closer to the metal is what's going to increase the likelihood that you're going to have a flashback problem. Going the other way should not be hurting anything at all. It's not any better or worse. Honestly, your position of your material on the bed has a lot more to do with flashback concerns than where your galvo head is in reference to your material. So, if you're ever engraving something we would consider highly reflective, that would be like copper. Right, copper is really the copper's the big one. Copper's the big nasty one that is actually going to cause problems with this. It's recommended to do copper off center of the bed, so you don't want to center copper, because if you center copper, then you're just asking for it to hit the copper and bounce back up. And I hate this myth, drives me nuts, but it has nothing to do with the polish of the material. So if you polish something to a mirror, and it's like you have polished aluminum and you have like milled aluminum, your flashback chances are not that much different between those two materials. It has a lot more to do with how reflective they are atomically, like how the light is bouncing off of the like individual atoms of that material. So it's more about the kind of material you're engraving, not the status of the material that you're engraving. So just a couple things to touch on about that, because there's a lot of myths about flashback. It's really not that big of an issue. I've never had a flashback problem in my entire life, and I've been abusing the shit out of my machines since I started in this business 10 years ago. So I think it's a little overstated, and I think the horror stories that you hear from people that do experience it are very scary, but you don't hear about when people's lasers are working well. You only hear about when things go horribly wrong. So if you guys have anything to add to that, feel free, but it's mostly a non-issue outside of copper.
The big thing I would agree, and I've read it on multiple forums before I even found you guys, like that was one of the things I read about and was like, oh shit, that would be really bad. And a lot of people have just said, make sure you never have something directly under. I mean, it's kind of I know you can't avoid it always, because depending on the job you're doing and what you're working on and where and how and blah, but I mean, you can definitely... Well, that's the other thing I was going to say too. You can offset some of that risk by using a bigger lens if possible, to distort that distance. So yeah, I agree with all that. And then Ben said it does happen, and that's Ben E in the chat said
it's a real thing.
It happens, but yeah, it's not a good day when it does. I agree with you, man.
Yeah.
So,
but I don't think that you should torture yourself over it constantly. Again, it's
Right.
like so uncommon, you know. That'd be like worrying that you're going to get in a horrific 20-car pileup every time that you drive to the grocery store. It's just not that likely.
Well, and they would have designed the machine differently if it happened every day.
Yeah.
Like that's, I mean, it wouldn't be a machine that would be functioning all the time. So just a thought.
Yeah.
We have all replaced our machines by now, I think. Your Galvo or whatever.
Yeah. JMac says everything I do is in the center and I do loads of copper.
Oh shit.
It's JMac, man.
I do have a
There you go.
a non-rusting, non-ZMark black right here.
Nice.
I just happen to have that with me.
Pretty faster than the ZMark.
Yeah,
Yeah.
runs about like
God, look at those colors.
750. It's a little different from your normal anneal setting, but
Yeah.
it's close.
Cool. That looks sick. Love that handle too. Handle's awesome. Reuben had another color for us, or another question for us rather. Yeah, dude, that handle's sick. The color red is reflective, or what's the situation with the color red and engraving it?
Red.
Red sucks to engrave, and it's because your fiber laser is infrared. It's infrared light, and what is infrared light right next to on the color spectrum? Red, right? So it's just a slightly wider wavelength than the red, and that means that way more of the light, the infrared light that you're sending down to engrave that red away, is being reflected by the red. A red thing is red because that's the color it's reflecting. So when we're hitting it with infrared light, a lot of that is red light that's being reflected away, and that makes it more difficult to engrave something on that end of the color spectrum, just because that's the color that it is. So they're very similar. Infrared and red are very similar. The red tumbler, for example, is already reflecting red light that you're seeing in your eyes, and so anything red that you throw down at the tumbler is going to bounce away, and that's what makes them so hard to engrave. So did that make sense? Felt like I kind of rambled through that. Okay, good.
Did we just scrolling back, I think we missed one. Marco says it's fair to pay an extra 700 USD for EasyCAD 3 and a new board, question mark?
Nope.
For a new
Didn't
fiber.
see that one.
Nope, don't do that.
It depends. Do you need 3D?
It's fair.
If you absolutely need 3D for what you want to do,
Yep.
and there's no way around it. That's what you have to get.
That's true.
That's the only way you're going to get 3D control. 3D involves the Z-axis and the head. It affects your focus in two different ways. So it depends. If you can get away with not going 3D, you have the benefit of light burn support earlier on, and they actually just announced that will be coming very, very soon. Do you guys remember the date for that, actually?
The 30th is when it's first coming out.
June 30th is kind of the everybody beta trial release, and then July 15th it will go on sale.
Okay, there you go.
Yep.
So if you don't need EasyCAD 3, which as of yet they have not confirmed whether or not they can get Lightburn to work with EasyCAD 3 or not, boards, I say, you may or may not be able to utilize Lightburn with EasyCAD 3 control boards. So if that's important to you and you don't need 3D, go with EasyCAD 2 and save the money.
Yeah.
You have to weigh your options. Depends on what you need.
And by 3D, Kyle means like 3D Galvo scan head 3D, like legitimate 3D where the focus is changing while you're engraving. Lightburn has 2.5D features built into it already. Patrick has done work with it. You can use height maps and you can do 2.5D. So if you want to do 3D engraving where it's 3D, you can do that with Lightburn. Great examples on the screen right now.
It's hard to get it focused.
If you are engraving something like a ball and you need the Galvo to actually move and change your focal point live based on 3D models, is what Kyle is saying, then you need to use EasyCAD 3, at least for now. So That looks awesome, Patrick. I can't wait to do that video. I'm really excited to do that video.
I didn't know that we were going to discuss this. I just had this in my pocket today to show people.
Yeah.
I was carrying it around.
So sick, dude. I can't wait. I'm so stoked.
That was actually brought up too today in one of the forums. I think it was in the. No, it wasn't in Laser Everything. It was in one of the Facebook forums, and Jason actually weighed in on what is 3D and said the exact same thing. And so it's just one of the things. But what's really cool is it actually slices it and creates it for you. It's really neat. So people who are waiting for the 30th, I mean, it's right around the corner, and it's going to be so cool to play with. And Patrick's look way better than mine. I think you did like 180 slices on yours, didn't you? Something
Yes.
like that. Something.
Not crosshatch, just 180 regular slices.
I just became immensely stressed out about how many videos I have to make in the next 3 weeks.
I promised you videos, and this knife thing is taken over, and I haven't got any videos made.
You're not getting paid.
I barely got my Harris's videos.
That's Kyle's job. You guys are volunteers. Every minute that you give to the channel is more than you should, and I'm immensely grateful for it.
I've been trying to, like, I wish I could show you this. I don't know if can you guys see the amount of dust?
It's so big.
Like,
dude.
I know this is it's comically
Comically large.
I may have been drinking and clicked on the wrong box on Amazon, so what the fuck ever. But anyways, but like you can't even see, like, this is okay. So you guys see the gray or no?
Yeah.
You think
Oh
it's
yeah.
light,
No,
like,
it's very clearly there. Yeah.
So this is from, and I told Patrick I've been working on this video, but I've had some stuff going on, like you guys know what happened with my puppy, so had a bad couple of days, but it's one of those things where I was working on this engrave just to make this video about the air assist, just how cool it is.
Yeah.
And the sheer amount of material that this thing just was able to take away, and then not have it mess up the engraving. Because like Kyle and Alex said, with the 3-dimensional engraving, like, it literally has come out as good as it did for just a trial run. Because I think I only did like 80 layers on mine, 80 slices, because I had like 45 minutes to kill.
Yeah.
And it still came out really nice, but the amount of material was just like,
it's awesome.
So,
and it blew that dust into your fume extraction instead of letting it, some of it be more likely to escape into the air.
Somewhere in between was asking if red is a hard color to make, what is the easiest color? The easiest color is black, because black absorbs every wavelength of light. So it's obviously going to do the best job absorbing your laser. So when we see black, we're seeing black because there's an absence of color. It's not reflecting any light back to our eyes, so it appears black. And that's because the item is absorbing all of the colors in the light spectrum, including your infrared from your fiber laser. So black is always going to be the easiest to mark, especially with a fiber.
It always pops so nice too, man. The silver it always looks so good.
Andy Faulkner says, "Hey guys, all you do is appreciated, and if we wait for your videos, we will patiently wait because the info in them is priceless." Thanks, Andy. Forty-four guys online right now. What's up, everybody? Welcome. If I haven't welcomed you by name, I'm sorry, because I'm multitasking now. You got to get here early. You got to get in right when we start up to catch those shout outs. I do believe we're still live though. Are we still live, Kyle?
Yep, I just double checked it.
Cool.
If I'll leave a message in the chat for anybody to refresh who's having issues.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Joseph just said only 13 likes.
I know. Yeah. What's up, guys? If you are enjoying the stream, please smash the like button and let other people know that the content here is good and that you enjoy hanging out with us for Friday Live Day. It's Friday Live Day. We're chilling. We're kicking it. We worked real hard all week, and we want to relax and hang back and chill out. Wow, it just jumped up to 25. That's
Ooh.
better. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. That's much
Still
better.
rising.
Chef's kiss. Speaking of
What we like to
speaking of still rising, we are almost to 21,000 subscribers already.
Wow.
Yeah, even
Since
after
last
that weird spike and then crash, we got like a bunch of like spam. You guys don't know this. You guys watching don't know this, but last week we had like a freak out because we went from, it was like 19,900 subscribers to like 20.8 in like 2 days. And then YouTube was like, no, those aren't real. And it took them like all away. And then we've been clawing our way back over the course of the week. And we're already back to almost where we were at the height of like that weird spammy subscriber rush. So I'm stoked on that. So if you're a recent subscriber, thank you. But yeah, we're at like 20.6 now, I think. We're cruising real fast. So
20.7.
no way, really?
Yeah.
Whoa, 20.7. That's awesome. I think it was. I checked earlier. It was like 2677. So that's really impressive. That's great. Thank you guys so much.
We are quite literally at 20,700 exactly.
Wow.
At this particular moment.
I wish I had like a
Very
party.
precise.
I wish I had a party popper.
A moment in time immortalized.
If you're
There you go.
for some reason you're watching this and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. I was looking at the analytics in the channel back end the other day, and like 26% of our viewers are subscribed to the channel, which is crazy. So definitely subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified when we go live, when we post new episodes. You know, all the other things we do here. Share the channel with a friend, stuff like that.
In the middle
Get it out
of
there.
your episodes, you should do what some of these other YouTubers do: is say, "My analytics show that 20% of active viewers are subscribers. So please like and subscribe." And then put a little animation in there, and
Yeah.
you can be like all the other cool kids.
I try to save it for the end because I don't like interrupting the content when people are trying to learn. But maybe I have to do that
Yeah.
because
That-
you watch it too, and I'm like the second that I'm sitting here, and we're like, well, guys, I guess that's all we need to learn about MOPA colors today. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. And then boom, the rate of people watching just immediately drops off. Nobody ever watches the end where I talk about the Discord, where I talk about the LMA, where I give the call to action to like and subscribe. So maybe I do. Maybe I need to sprinkle them in the middle.
About a third of the way in.
Yeah, maybe I
think
should.
What we should do too is reward the people who stay to the end. So after we do the closing, maybe announce a giveaway.
Yeah, or you
It's
know,
like Marvel.
give them the link to the Laser Everything OnlyFans page.
Or a coupon code to the Laser Everything Marketplace.
That's right.
When it launches.
Yeah, we're not.
That's true.
That'd be mistake.
Dude, we're so close now. I've been trying not to talk about it because I've talked about it so much on the channel, and you know, it's not open yet, but we're really close, and it's coming. It's looking really good right now.
It's good. I've got my third product ready to go up there.
Robert's saying, is anyone seeing a decrease in business because of our economy?
Well,
I'm
yeah, and I
seeing
asked
reports
what's
of
the
a
market?
mix. Yeah, Matt asked what market you're in, but I think it depends on who you're marketing to, because I think for at least a lot of us, or at least a lot of people in the Discord that we talk to, they're adding value by customizing something for the person that's buying it, or to put on the gift, right? So in some ways they're looking to better spend that money instead of just throwing it away on a meaningless, careless gift, right? So I think it depends on what you're selling and how you're selling it.
Yeah.
What your niche is.
I would say too, if you're not having business coming to you, try thinking about how you can go work with other businesses. I mean, I don't know where you are on the spectrum of, you know, business and who you're working with, but I know I just went out not too long ago, and actually I found a reason to go out with my kids into our downtown. We're having this thing called the Golden Train Hunt, because my town is a train town. Like, it's a huge train watching place. People come all over the place to view these different things. And I went into a shop, literally not even thinking about my business. We were just looking for the golden train. And the lady there said, "Oh yeah, we're a consignment art shop. We have some really cool stuff from makers." And sorry, it's just something funny. And so while we were sitting there, I hate you guys. So anyway, while we're sitting there, the lady literally started talking to me, and I handed her my business card and just said, "Yeah, I make some different items." And she was like, "Oh, that's really cool. Oh wait, is this a metal business card?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then I said, she said, "Well, do you have a website?" And I pulled out my coin that I usually have on me. It's inside because I put it in my like tray of items, you know. And I was able to slide my QR code stainless steel coin that I have, like these little guys right here. You know, just a stainless steel coin that's got my QR code on it. And then on one side, it's got the ZMark, which is really smooth stainless steel. Excuse me. Thank you guys so much.
Minimize it.
So, no, not you guys. No, not you guys at all. Just so anyways, long story short, I was able to show her like 3 or 4 products within like a minute or two with different types of engraving that I could do on metal. And she was like, "Wow, you know, we'd love to have a couple items here. Maybe we can talk with you about putting in some cutting boards and stuff too." So, I mean, it was really a neat way to just get out there and meet people, talk to them.
Yeah. Circling back to that point, that's an excellent tip, because I actually just got an order from a local business that wants to do coasters with a design on the top that reflects what they do for their business, and on the bottom they want to put their contact information.
Yep.
And they want to make it as a set. So they're going to be selling a set of coasters with different designs on the top, and on the bottom it's going to be all their contact info.
Yeah, and actually, same thing, offering different products to the people who I already sell certain things for. So one of the things I made, and it's actually across the shop, I'm not going to go grab it, but it's a slate coaster just like this one. So I made these for a company that was out in Colorado, and they wanted this mountain design with their name in it. And then what I'm doing, though, is basically there's a realtor and a lender that I work with, and they want something. So, like, let's say, you know, they've got these really expensive olive wood boards that they buy for like $100, 120, you know, 60. But then sometimes they do stuff for rental properties. They do things, but they still want to offer their clients something to remember them by. And so that's one of the things we're doing right now is just slate coasters. Like, they're cheap, they're easy. It's got some personalized information on the front, and on the back it's going to have all of their contact info. And it's just something to remember, you know, like a keepsake. Cost them $20 for a set, but you're making decent profit if they're doing 10 or 12 a month, you know. So, just saying.
Yeah.
The other thing too, and I mentioned this last week, schools. Start talking to schools now. Like, I know school just got out for us, but it's already halfway through June, and school starts in August for us. And I have 2 principals, an APC and a principal, who have reached out to me just this week to start talking about welcome back gifts, because their budget's already been allotted to them and they're ready to spend the money. So, you know, put together a flyer, send out information to schools that are close to you, and you can get some pretty big orders that way. And what's nice is they'll be repeat customers, because if you can help them find their price point, definitely ask them, what's your budget, what are you trying to accomplish? And then within that school, not only is there the teachers, but there's the clubs. And if you can work with them and get in, there's so many different activities and groups within one school. I mean, you can really, you know, get a foothold there and be their guy or girl to help them get that done.
Yeah,
So I know I'm talking a lot, but I'm just trying to think of things to help people out.
Somewhere says big order is always good, and I always keep hearing people say you got to diversify. Absolutely. So if you end up finding like a good niche that you fit into, and there's a market in your area for it, that's good. Keep working on that. But in your spare time, maybe consider designing extra products that might fit into a different commerce that works in your area. Like, for example, if you're, I don't know, in Michigan and you're surrounded by, you know, custom car parts people, see if you can get in with them and design plates that they can rivet onto their parts, or offer to do an engraving service for them. so that it gives them one, extra step ahead, and they don't have to worry about CNCing it on or something like that.
And that's actually a really good point. One more thing too is talk to the people who you're in business with currently. So while I was waiting, the manager or the owner of the motorcycle shop that I just cut 60 motorcycle parts for, he also he had like a wall of products. So basically his office is just a giant shipping warehouse. And one of the things I was not really meaning to, but I just said, hey man, I'll wait for you here, because he wanted to look at some of the products I just made and make sure everything lined up, because it's a precision piece. And I was like, yeah, no problem. And while I was standing there, he showed me just this little end cap. It's an anodized aluminum end cap. And we were able to, I said, hey man, I see that you got those marked. And I know I talked to you guys in chat about this like the other night. I think it was like 2 a.m. I was like, does this look like silver to you? But he wanted these parts to look like a silver versus an anodized white. And I was able to do that for him. So he ordered 300 of them. So just by standing in the room talking to the guy, I was able to be like, hey, that's cool. I can help you out there. So, yep.
Are we still talking about if we saw a decrease in business because of all the things going on?
Yeah, and just different ways of
kind of led into it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't think that we're seeing a huge hit on expendable income being spent because the YouTube channel's still here. So we're doing okay because our LMA supporters have stood by us. Did we passed 1,900 supporters on LMA, Kyle? Is that right?
We did.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's money out there, guys. There's business out there for you. People are they've still got some extra cash in their pockets, and I heard you guys are talking about B2B, and B2B is massive in our industry. Yep. If you can successfully make that transition, that's you securing your future as a business. So
at the end of the day, even if extra spending money goes out the window, it means that there's still business opportunity for you too anyway, because people are still going to look for gifts. They just want them to be more meaningful, and that is something you can offer. You just need to figure out how you want to offer it.
Yeah. Ben E says, hey, I want to share in the good news too. I have an industrial business that is having me quote $6,000 piece a month project continuous. This could be income replacing. Here's hoping, guys.
Whoa.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Do it up, man.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude. The
I've had
continuous stuff is so killer.
Awesome.
I've had a lot of coin collectors who want coins cleaned. That's spooky. That's spooky stuff.
Coin cleaning versus laser cleaning stuff off of a coin are two different things. Because you're going to be removing metal.
You're going to be blading it. Yeah.
That might not be what they want once they know what that is.
And even if they're okay with you blading material off of the coin, you would still have to repolish it, because you're not going to be able to polish it with the laser, especially if it's a static metal like zinc or copper. It's not happening. So you would have to have some other process in place to polish that back up. But a lot of people that buy collectible coins have certificate of authenticity with the weight, and like the materials used in the production of the coin. And once you start ablating that coin with the laser in order to clean it, you're going to see a change in that weight value, right? So be really careful with that. If you haven't already, check out ultrasonic cleaners, things like that. I mean, there's no reason why you couldn't pick one up and still provide that service if that's something you're interested in providing. But I wouldn't jump straight to the laser without being super clear with whoever you're doing that service for that the coin is going to weigh less after you're done.
Yeah,
it will.
That's one thing. I think people look online, what's the best way to clean coins? They literally Google it. Because I've seen the videos, when you're looking for laser devices, all kinds of things pop up until you start to learn what you're actually trying to zero in on.
Yeah. And
that's one of the things, is that one that literally the scanner that blasts the stuff away real quick from 1.5 foot up. You know what I mean? And so they think, oh yeah, laser engraving, that's what I need. So they don't know, and if you don't know, that's a huge miscommunication that could be really bad for sure. Let's see.
What Joseph said about an ultrasonic cleaner, that might be a good idea to look into versus a laser on the coins.
That's exactly what I was looking at. Yep.
A beach too.
No, you're good. One thing too to talk about is where'd it go? IMS Workshop. Lower generic orders but customized have increased, which is what Kyle was saying. Yeah, like the lower items, especially with the holidays that hit all, Mother's Day, Father's Day, boom, boom, right back to back.
Yep.
Birthdays are throughout the year, man.
This isn't my
wedding season.
This isn't my specialty, but I do also want to comment on this. Somewhere is asking, like heating objects to make the metal stronger. What you're talking about is traditional annealing, like a blade would be annealed to increase its strength. Those are done in very special ovens that hit very, very specific temperatures for very specific amount of time. The laser would not be a good tool for that at all. It's honestly, it's the opposite. It's a very inconsistent application of heat for a very imprecise amount of time, and a lot of heating and cooling over and over and over again as the laser scans across the surface. So if you want to heat treat metal, essentially you would want like a real annealer. When we say anneal, as laser markers, we are saying like we're annealing the metal rather than ablating it, as in we're heating the metal rather than removing metal from the surface. When a forger who's making a knife says anneal, they mean that they are buying an annealing oven and they are putting the metal in that oven to evenly heat and cool it with certain timing at very specific temperatures. So I would not at all rely on a laser to do that job.
Yeah, that's why that glossary is going to be so important.
Tempering the metal.
Right, tempering. Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I have a forge and an anvil too.
Of course you do.
He actually has an iron mine in his on his property. He's just back in there getting it all. Oh, one more tip, and this is coming from Robert. He said he's working for a private jet maintenance company, working on jets. They outsource me all their aircraft registration changes. That's a really big, if you're talking about continuous sources of income, don't forget to look at like utilities and airports and like all the places you don't really think about, but just call and say, hey, here's what I do. Having a website that has some, because I know Tyler from our staff just did something for a project working on aircrafts, and they literally said like, we usually pay hundreds of dollars for these, and because Tyler had like drastically underquoted them, and they were like, man, this is better than the stuff we usually get too. So a lot of money in those kind of things.
And I can't say this enough. I really can't say this enough. I feel like we bring it up weekly at this point, but if you haven't already gone to the second channel, youtube.com/laser everything else, and you haven't already watched Matt's episode on setting up your Google My Business listing, go watch it and do that right now. Like literally stop watching the live stream and go set up your Google My Business page. It's free. It will result in it works so well. Like just go do it. Again, it's youtube.com/laser everything else. So our volunteer staff upload their volunteer staff videos, and there's good stuff over there that a lot of people are missing. We have almost 21,000 subscribers here on Laser Everything. The Laser Everything Else second channel has less than 1,000. So I know a lot of people haven't already gone and checked that out. So if you haven't already checked that out, go check it out. Go watch Matt's video on the Google My Business page setup. It's super easy. Matt does a great job explaining it, and it would just be immensely helpful for everybody who hasn't already done that. It's really cheap. Yeah.
Here's a real life scenario regarding Google Business. I've had mine up for a while. It was before Matt's video, but to just emphasize how important it is to go watch his video, so you can do this. I wouldn't have this knife engraving project if it wasn't for Google Business, because that's how they found me. Even though we live, the guy that found me, we live 20 minutes away, but it was a Google business search that brought him to me and called the phone number that day.
Yeah. And Deer Valley Engravings is saying, isn't Google My Business moving to Google Maps? I think they are integrating it, but is the back end still Google My Business for business owners?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same app.
You manage it through the Maps app now.
Yeah.
Correct.
But the interface is still, like, it's all relevant. Everything in the video is still relevant.
Yeah.
So certainly, don't skip that.
And there's so much, just to tap on that in case you haven't looked at it, like you said, there's so much info. Like, it tells you what products they're looking at. You can put pictures up of things that you make, and it will literally tell you, here's what people are clicking on, here's what people are looking for. It gives you date breakdowns, so much good info. That, I mean, when I found it out, I was like, holy shit, people need to know about this. And I'm sure there are other videos, but, for laser people, there you go.
Yep.
Thank you, Andy.
Let's see.
Yeah, that also means that less than 1,000 people get those little gold nuggets of information from those videos. So,
real quick, Robert said, if I don't have a storefront, does it work the same? This is my storefront, the garage. So yeah, it works the same. You can actually hide, and this is in the video too. You can hide your actual address, but you can give your zip code. So that way, the number one thing people type in is laser engraving near me. That is always every month for the past 8 months that I've been on Google Business, or Google Maps now. That's the number one thing people type in and find me, and then click my website, click my info, and call me.
Yep.
And I've made enough money to pay for this laser just from Google Business, which is, like, now that I've had it up for 6 months, I've made enough to pay for the fiber laser just from Google. And it's awesome. So I'm really happy with that.
Yeah, and even
that.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Kyle. No, you first.
I was gonna say, we talked about it last week, but I know a lot of you weren't here. To go along with Google My Business, you can also set your location to a PO box or a paid mailbox at like a FedEx or UPS store. So not all of them offer that, but if you have like a particularly local FedEx store or UPS store, go in and see if they have any mailboxes that you can buy space in. You can send the Google My Business card to that location, set that to your location, and at least then you have a local pin set, and they have a place where you can get stuff mailed.
Yep.
Or if you send stuff out of your house, you have a return address that's not your home.
Yep.
So.
And if you want to take that one step further, I can say this with absolute confidence. Running the same exact ads, I got more business, more actual physical revenue in 1 month from running my ads with Google AdWords than I did on every other social media platform the previous year combined. Do some Google advertising. If you're going to do any advertising, I did Facebook, I've done Snapchat, I've done Instagram, I've boosted stories, I've boosted Facebook posts, I've done it all. And in 12 years, I literally mopped up all of that business with Google ads. It's Google AdWords in a month. So wherever you're spending money on advertisements, stop, dump it into Google AdWords. Once you have that Google My Business page set up, that's just it's like an exponential multiplier on top of that, and it's really going to do super well for you. So that's just a little more anecdotal advice there for you on that.
Yeah, you guys have had years longer than I have. And then I think that probably helps with the ISO too, for like when people are looking back again later, because a lot of times I think what I've noticed in the Google Business information, it tells you is like they clicked on it once and then came back later to see that. So something interesting.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for the example, Patrick. That's awesome.
Yeah, and something I always bring up is get a Google Voice number, link it to the Google Business so that becomes your business number, and then it will basically track the amount of calls that you receive or you miss, and the more you answer, or that go to your voicemail, the better your score is with Google, and it'll basically boost your placement in the search.
Yeah, and one thing too is Ben E from the chat just mentioned it a little bit ago. Get the reviews. The one thing I can tell you too is just be mindful of how you request reviews. They should look organic, or literally Google will stop. Like if you post something on Facebook, for example, like, "Hey guys, go review me." It might post 2 or 3, but then after that, it basically is just going to kill any type of thing because they want organic, legitimate purchases and reviews. Because I've had, I think it was like a month ago, someone said none of my reviews are showing up or something in the Discord.
Yeah.
And that was something that after talking with a few people, and I think you guys have said it too. So, when you talk to your customers, and that's something too, which is really easy to do, is put a QR code on your invoices that say, like, if you're, pleased with the service, please take a look at this and go put a review on there for us.
Kyle's saying QR code. You got the metal business card right there. Boom.
Yeah. Throw an extra 10 cents at your customer and throw this in the box with whatever you engraved for them with a QR code. And
absolutely.
I had my Google business here. Please leave me a review.
I had a very specific system for getting reviews on Google Maps that did really, really well. I used paper, but you could do these business cards that Kyle's talking about. You could do any kind of creative thing you want to do. But what I did was I kept these documents, right? We'll call them whatever it is that has your Google address on it for people to leave you reviews. Mine was just a short paragraph that just said, like, we're a small family-owned business. Reviews make or break businesses like ours. We would really appreciate it if you take the time to leave us a review. And then there was a link. I kept those under my front counter. And whenever people picked up jobs, I gauged how happy they were about what they were picking up. And if they were stoked, I grabbed one and said, "Hey, I'm so glad that you love your engraving. If you have a minute, can you please leave us a review?" There's a link on this paper here. And every single time people said yes, and every single time they went and posted a review, it put me in control so that happy customers were the ones leaving reviews, right? Because usually people only leave reviews when they have something bad to say, and those aren't the customers we want. We want the customers that had a great experience, who are statistically significantly less likely to review your business. So yeah, give the people that are happy the means to leave you the review. If you just throw it out there, people are going to be like, "Oh, I remember these guys. Fuck these guys." You know what I mean? Like that, because of that one person that said they needed it in a week, and then they came back the next day and they were pissed off that it wasn't done. You don't want those reviews. You want the reviews of the people that literally are like, tears are welling up in their eyes because they're moved for the thing that you did for their dad's dead cat. Those are the people you want leaving reviews for you, and the easiest way to get them is to just have the thing with the link on it somewhere they can't see it, and you give it to the people that are stoked when they pick up their stuff. That's all you have to do. I got like 100 reviews in a year. We had a 5-star review when I closed Mcclure Laser Engraving. We had 100 5-star reviews, and that's how I did it. I never a 4-star, never a 3-star. I had 100 5-star reviews, and it's just because I made a judgment call when people picked up their stuff, and if they were literally stoked, they got one of the cards with the link on it, and I gave it to them. That's how I did it. So I mean, and that worked really well.
Someone said I did a shitty job, and I gave them Kyle's link, so I feel like that was also pretty good.
Thanks, man.
No problem, buddy. Like, I'll show this guy. Let's see. Yeah, don't try to game the system. True story.
Yeah. And I don't consider that gaming the system. I'm just making it easier.
That way before what you said.
Yeah, I'm just.
He was referring to the Facebook thing you were telling.
Yeah, I think it's just
harvesting reviews versus organic.
Yeah, I think it's easier. You just have to make it easier for the people that are genuinely happy with the work that you did to have access to leaving you a review. That's all.
just tying that back to what Patrick had said earlier, he's exactly right. You're exactly right. Those things put you higher up on the list of contacts, even in Google Maps. Because I think my mom or somebody typed in laser engraving to see like where I showed up for me. And because I have the highest review, I don't even have as many reviews as the other companies, but because I have a higher star rating, I was like, I think I was second in the ranking of, yeah. So just in our area, and the other two that are near me, the other two main ones that actually even have Google Maps set up, have been around for years. So I'll take it though. Ooh, got a good question in chat about diodes.
Yeah, have you all explored modding your own diode laser in order to boost the cutting ability? And if you have, what are the downfalls of just building a mount and focusing two cheap enclosures together? I have not, and probably would not. That sounds super sketchy.
So there's an inherent problem if you're trying to focus too cheap. I imagine when you say two cheap enclosures, you mean two cheap laser modules. There's an inherent sketchiness to that when you see, like, for example, I think Atom Stack, I think Xtool uses it, and I mean there's a bunch of brands, a lot of them use very similar technology. They have multiple diodes within the same module, and they're focused at different angles, but they're reflected into the same beam path, and that gives you a longer focal range generally because they're focused at different heights. And I think that's probably what you're looking to do. But to build your own module like that would be a pretty hefty.
A lot of these diode companies now are coming out with like 10, 20 watt diodes, like legitimate ones. They've always been 10 or 20 watt, but like input wattage. I'm talking about output beam. The companies that Orchard just put out a new 10 watt diode, and Xtool, I believe, has a 10 watt and a 20 watt. Atom Stack has a 10 watt now. So there are a lot of higher power diode modules that are being released now that are fairly cost effective, and don't involve trying to combine beams from two separate modules. So
yeah, I think the approach I would take with that, if you're gonna either build or mod one, by all means build the rest of the machine. You can usually go to like a company's website and purchase just the module that you want.
Yeah.
So that it's ready to go, you're not messing around with it, and it's a lot safer, so you're not like trying to focus a diode beam and blinding yourself while you're doing it. Like, we don't want to hear about somebody getting hurt.
Yep.
So, I mean, that would probably be the way I would go if that was something I was going to do. But if, for example, like, let's talk about the diode that you just reviewed like last month, or maybe it was a little more than a month ago. Oh my god, I can't remember.
The Alfaro?
What was the last one? Yeah.
Yeah, it's right next to me. It's right here. Yep.
They're all modular.
Yep.
So you can buy another. They have short focus and they have long focus, and then their new one uses the same mounting plate, I believe. So if you have any of their recent machines, you can swap between the modules. A lot of companies are moving to that style of, not necessarily the same style of mounting, but like if you have a machine and you buy a different module from them, you can usually mount it to the same machine.
Yeah.
So you can adjust.
They're hot swappable. You can hot swap them. Yeah. Yep.
So maybe consider that, if that will meet your needs.
Did you see his comment in chat that he just put in there?
Some of them do combine the 5-watt optical diodes together to the same focal point, and some of them just extend the focal range by having a closer one and a further one.
I'd rather have a company with manufacturing infrastructure in place combining the beams than try to do it myself, though. Like,
yeah,
they have the precision. That's like a really precise thing to try to do at home. And I'm Mr. like right to repair, build it yourself, do it yourself. I'm all about that. I just don't think diode modules is an area where I personally would want to.
You'd have to have a lot of specialty tools, I think, I think, from what I know.
Yeah, it's just a little bit outside of my comfort zone, personally. But again, I mean, if you feel like you know what you're doing, you know, be careful, wear goggles. Let us know how it goes. We have the Discord. I'd love an update on that if you decide to go for it.
They posted a couple examples. Posted a couple examples in the YouTube chat. From Endurance Lasers, they have let's see, 2 diodes that they combine into one. Yeah. They shoot at like 45 to the focal point.
Yeah. We are
just as an FYI.
90 minutes, just so you guys know.
Oh, wow.
On the rotary, is there any advantage to using 12,800 versus 25,600 steps? For 99.9% of people, no. 12,800 steps is a ridiculously high number of steps for any stepper motor, especially the micro steps. So they are little like half step, because the stepper motors don't actually make 12,800 steps. They make micro steps, which are like fake steps. So the 360 ability of that stepper that the chuck is making is not as precise as those values anyway. They can't turn with that kind of fidelity. So it has less to do with like which is better and more to do with how do you have it set up in EasyCAD. You just need to make sure that the stepper driver and your software agree on what your steps per rotation are. Anything above what would be a normal value, like below 12 be 6400. Is that right? Anything above that, I would say is irrelevant, and isn't going to make a difference unless you have some kind of like ridiculously crazy expensive, super advanced stepper motor. And then even then, I don't know what you'd use it for, because I don't think that the laser's dot size is fine enough to be able to take advantage of that kind of fidelity with a rotary turning with that kind of fidelity anyway. So I don't think it matters. Just make sure that your stepper driver and your software agree on how many steps per rotation you're making, and it should be fine.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I know I've got a Rotoboss, and I know that one has like a really high. I was actually trying to pull up but I mean, that's what I was going to say is if you've got a manual that says it, do it.
Yep.
I think 6,400 and 12,800 are the most common. I don't think I've ever seen anyone set it or have it set to 25,000 out of the box without them trying to set it there.
Yep.
And usually that just leads to confusion and headaches because they don't set the software to what the driver is set to output.
KN says, "Hey Laser Everything team, when you get your new laser machine, how do you check that your laser source is what you bought, like JPT versus Rakis?" You open that sucker up and you look at it. If you don't know your way around the inside of your fiber laser, go watch the EasyCAD 3 to EasyCAD 2 downgrade video, because we tear apart the 60 watt SFX and I show you all the parts inside, and we kind of do like an internal laser anatomy check in that episode. So while the downgrade part of it doesn't really apply, it is a great tour around the internals of the machine. But you have to look. You have to open it up and look. There's no button you can click in EasyCAD that will give you a hard answer on that. You have to inspect it visually. The good news is most cases are extremely easy to open. You don't have to touch anything. You just have to look at it. 9 times out of 10 they have a genuine sticker on it with a model number and a serial number, and you can just look at it and get your answer. So That's the best way to do it. Do you guys know of any other methods? No.
What you said.
Yeah, visual
It's
inspection.
usually facing straight out once you get the panel off. So.
You could probably like connect like a serial I/O and like command it with EasyCAD somehow to like get an answer, but it's gonna take far less time to just open the
just
case.
unscrew it.
Yeah, just unscrew it and
Take
just
6
look.
screws out, slide the panel.
Yep. Kyle, drop the link to the downgrade video. So if you don't know what you're looking at inside your laser, go watch that. Check it out. And
then if you have a
should help.
fake EasyCAD board, the commands and IOs might not line up perfectly, so you're going to have to open it up anyway.
Yep.
That is true.
Very true.
Don't shock yourself.
Yeah, unplug the machine before you start opening things. It hurt. It really hurt. It hurt. It hurt really bad.
Getting zapped?
Yeah.
He
Dude,
got knuckle dusted, man.
It
I
hurt,
told
dude.
you- I know I told Kyle my story when my dad and I were painting a long time ago.
I remember
He was
this.
at the breaker box, yeah, and like literally for I think it was like an hour and a half. Like I knew it was there, but I was like,
Dude, I jumped 4 feet in the air. Like I've never jumped so high in my entire life. I thought I was just gonna fly through the roof out of the building. Like, yep. Got me good, dude.
Like
got me good.
when I worked at a power plant, we had to wear like really thick rubber-soled stuff so that if in case anybody ever did have something happen, you could literally like pick them off, like or hit them with a pole that was rubberized, and all kinds of stuff. And so at least you jumped and were able to, it wasn't anything too high voltage.
You ever get zapped, Kyle? Like real zapped, like wall zapped?
Yeah. So
That sucked.
going back to what you said about, hey, you got a multimeter, you were making a video about checking power supplies. My tank back there had a power supply go out on me this week. So that's what I was doing this week. So that's part of the reason why I'm waiting to see what customer service, how they handle it before I go
Oh yeah, you told me you got juiced when you were messing with the power supply, huh?
I did. So I was checking the power supply, and my hand went across the the voltage or the input regulator for the voltage. I think that's how you got yours too.
Did you get DC or did you get AC?
Straight from the wall.
Yeah. Yep. That line end, man, it's nasty.
So it could have been worse, but I'm glad it wasn't, because if it was worse than wall, it would have been straight from a power supply.
Pro tip for everybody watching: if you're ever messing with the electronics inside your machine, one hand at a time. It's a really easy rule to follow that will keep you from getting killed. You put one hand on something inside your machine at a time, never two, because then the current will run through your hand and complete the circuit that way. If you put 2 hands on that machine and it juices you, it's going across your chest, and that's when you're going to cook. So one hand at a time, which is why I was okay when I got my kiss from the fiber laser, is because I was only using one hand, and I did it on purpose. You use one hand on purpose. It's something you like actively think about. And then if you mess up, you're getting a numb arm instead of a numb heart. Pro tip.
Yeah, Miranda.
Yeah, I heard a snap and then an ow. Like, Alex got shocked.
Have you ever gotten?
Especially important if you have like a pacemaker or a heart condition, or
I mean, even if you don't, dude, wall amperage will stop your heart for sure. So,
it can.
Yeah, especially if you're not on like a GFCI circuit, it's really, really dangerous. So please be careful. Unless you're actively testing voltages coming out of power supplies, everything else that you need to do with like continuity and stuff can be done with the machine off and unplugged. And we're going to talk about that. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself because we have a whole video coming out on this really soon. But Patrick, did you ever get a little kiss from the wall?
No, not from live AC.
Nice. Good.
I have from an electric fence several times.
Ooh. Yeah.
And that'll jolt the shit out of you.
Yeah.
Stiffen your whole body.
It's the worst when you have to pee and you don't realize you're about to pee on an electrical fence.
No, normally it's because I know it's on and I still grab it to move something and realize I'll probably get shocked.
Ben C is asking, is there any advantage to buying a calibrated laser from a place like Laser Star versus one of the Alibaba ones? I guess I don't know what it is they calibrate. They probably do a core file? I think it's more important to buy... It's not like buying from Alibaba, you're just going to get an Alibaba laser. There are good sellers on Alibaba and AliExpress, and there are bad sellers on Alibaba and AliExpress. The good ones are Mactron, Wisely Laser, SFX is great, and you can get those on Amazon. Who else do we know? As far as like Chinese imports.
Wisely? Oh.
Yeah.
Chinese,
those are the big three. Mactron, Wisely, SFX. We've all used their machines for a long time at this point, and they've been very good. We know the staff well, and they make great machines. We have guides on the channel to calibrate anything that you would need to calibrate. The only things that I could think of are maybe like a corrections file for the lens and like laser timing. And we have two very, very thorough guides on doing both of those things here on the channel. You can do them yourself in one day. Very simple. So I wouldn't be afraid of getting the right machine off AliExpress. I think it's more about just getting it from the right business, just like if you're going to purchase something domestic. The imports are so much cheaper for essentially the same exact hardware. The US dealers of these things just import them and resell them and mark them up. You're just paying a middleman.
Alibaba is functionally the Amazon, but on a larger, more spread out scale.
Yeah.
Or eBay, or it's functionally the same thing. It's just a marketplace that sellers go to sell stuff.
I would not buy from CloudRay. I know the 2021 buying guide, we bring up CloudRay as a potential recommendation. In the last year, we've had so many people complain about bait and switches on laser sources, bad power supplies. They're kind of throwing those machines together with their eyes closed. So there's better options in a similar price range from CloudRay. Kyle, I'm sure, can throw the link to the buying guide back up in chat there for you guys, so you can go check out the buying guide. We're adding to it all the time. We've got great lasers that we know and trust on that list that you can check out with good wiring, good support, good sales staff, good shipping, all that stuff kind of covered for you. So I would start there.
To be clear, too, we're not necessarily throwing CloudRay under the bus. We just don't recommend their fibers.
Yeah, they have great. I've been buying CloudRay parts for my machines to replace things that need to be replaced for a very long time. CloudRay isn't a laser manufacturer. CloudRay is a marketplace. So they are reselling stuff made by a million different companies. So when they sell a CloudRay laser to you, it's just a white label. They're not actually making it. It's a rebrand. So just
being delivered to their warehouse and reshipped.
Yeah. So just
it's like going to Walmart and buying the Walmart marketplace.
Right.
That helps anybody.
Wherever they source that batch of lasers from, or multiple batches even, just
so it's cool to get the Walmart brand tires, but don't buy the Walmart brand car, I guess is what I'm saying.
Well, and to go with that, like you said, Andy said, his came well set up, and that's the thing. You don't know what you're going to get sometimes,
Yeah.
So glad that worked out for you, Andy.
Yep.
Let's see. And we have a lot of people who know a lot about, like, what it takes to kill you, which is good. I think everybody should know that as far as electricity goes. Just saying.
120.
Don't mess with electricity if you don't know what you're doing.
Wendy got zapped in the neck. Holy shit.
Oh no, Wendy.
Wendy, you're a beast. Love that.
Lightburn release day, live day planned? Maybe, if I'm not dead from all of the Lightburn tutorials that I have to make before that comes. You know what the worst thing is too? My wife planned a little like mini vacation. It's not a vacation. I shouldn't call it a vacation. We're going like 20 minutes away to the lake where they have little cabins in a state park. But she planned this like 2 months ago, and she was like, "Hey, honey, we're gonna be there the 27th, the 28th, and the 29th of June. Does that sound good?" And I was like, "Sounds great to me." So the 3 days before Lightburn releases, I'm going to be in the fucking woods. It's just not good,
Just
man.
with your phone, try to get the Wi-Fi for uploading videos.
Dude, I'm not even going to try, dude. I'm just going to try to not think about how I'm not making Lightburn content the 3 days before it's out.
Call it what it is. It's a vacation. Accept it as a vacation.
I'm going to try, man.
Everybody in chat, tell Alex it's okay to take 3 days off. Please.
Lightburn will be here when you get back, dude. For real. You'll be alright.
Yeah, I know. But you got to be first, man. If you're not first on YouTube, you're last.
All right, Ricky Bobby. Don't you put that even on me, Ricky Bobby.
What time is it? 11. Not bad. This was good. This is fun. I like these little hangouts, man. I wish we did these more often. We kind of have been doing them more often, haven't we?
They've been
pretty
fun.
quickly.
Yeah, they've been pretty common. I've been saving them too, and then uploading them to the podcast host as podcast episodes, which I feel like has worked pretty well.
It functions as a podcast.
It kind of does function as a podcast, right?
Yeah.
I want to do. I'm probably going to push this on you, Kyle, or maybe Patrick when he gets home. But we need to do some engraving soon on a live stream, because I think this is the second week where we've done talk show live rather than marking live, and then the week before that we did a marking live, and the week before that we did a talk show live. So we're definitely due for like a marking stream. Maybe we'll do one this weekend. I don't know.
Everybody in the chat.
I've got a couple lives in the
Chamber.
in the holster. Yeah, in the chamber.
Do I need to make a poll, Kyle?
I'll do it.
Okay. Kyle's going to make a poll, guys. Get your voting fingers ready.
No, never mind. You have to do it.
Oh, okay. I have to do it. What's the poll?
I was going to say, let's see if who would be interested in hanging out doing a viewer's choice again.
Oh.
Or if not a viewer's choice, stream in the next 2 or 3 days. I know Sunday is Father's Day, though. So that might be problematic. But
Okay. I did another Kyle's Viewer's Choice live, and then the options are Viewer's Choice in all caps or something else with Kyle.
well, I mean, it could be with you guys, too. It doesn't necessarily have to be me.
All right, guys.
I'm down for whatever.
Poll is up. Go ahead and vote. Let Kyle know if you liked his last live stream he did, where he had a bunch of different projects, and you guys essentially got to pick one with him live on the spot. You did a coin last time?
Yeah. The options last time, coin,
Yep.
machete, or slate coasters.
Are the machete and the slate coaster going to be on the table again if we do another viewer's choice?
It could be. I could add some additional options.
Yeah.
Depending on what I have around the shop.
Yeah, nice. And I know you've been stocking up, so you've got more and more stuff.
I'm sending a box to him this week.
Oh, you're sending a box?
Sending the box.
Kyle got Patrick's care package, and now he's getting a Matt care package?
No, he ordered something like a month ago with me.
It was
Yeah.
like a group
ADS.
buy.
Oh.
And it's been basically like every week it's like I'm gonna get that out. And
Yeah.
one more thing happens, dude. It's been crazy down here.
Oops.
It
Well,
was like a group buy situation. He hooked me up.
Oh, American Ordnance Works really wants us to do the like alcohol apocalypse.
Oh God.
Oh yeah.
Different drinks submitted by the viewers. The real After Dark.
I discussed with you guys after my last live stream of doing the viewer's choice, but my viewer's choice was going to be choose the item and choose the artwork. So that's what I've got planned.
I like that idea. Let's see that.
Andy Faulkner really wants to see a stainless tumbler on rotary. So it would be like a ZMark. Yeah, it would be like a ZMark or black anneal setting, but with a rotary tool. We have rotary videos, we have ZMark videos, but we don't have a rotary ZMark video.
I just took the plastic off of my rotary that came with my fiber yesterday.
Nice.
So
Killing it.
Fun fact, Joseph, I haven't
Project
drank
Mark.
in 2 years.
Wendy says, oh yeah, when is the alcohol thing going to happen? I haven't had a drop of alcohol in like 3 years, dude. I think that would mess me up really bad.
I'm sure my students would love to see Mr. Vodaford do that. Yeah.
Maybe,
I love the water.
maybe we can all sit around sober and just make Matt drink a bunch of disgusting alcohols.
Yeah, I think
Review this
I
big.
count my last drink by how old my kids are.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's been like 13 years.
Oh man, that's all. It's all you, Matt. So basically, you're going to be Steve-O. That's essentially
Got it.
what's going to happen. Matt says yes, so maybe we'll arrange it.
Right, right.
Lies, Vegas. That's true. I did drink with my brother in Vegas. I had a couple beers in Vegas because I hadn't seen my brother in a long time. So that's very
Does
true.
beer count? Does beer even count?
I don't think so, but
I don't think so either. That's
I-
like saying
I'm talking
you had
about, like, liquor.
Merlot.
yeah.
I had a Merlot.
Oh God,
What?
American Orient's saying Malort for everyone.
Oof.
Absolutely not.
We had this
Oh, yeah,
conversation.
that's the one. Yeah.
We had
is
this
going back in time
conversation.
here.
Nope, not doing it. Not going there again. Man. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about tonight? I know we spent a lot of time answering
I'm going to
questions.
bed soon.
If
I gotta
people-
be up and ready at. I gotta be downstairs by 8 a.m.
Yeah,
Ooh,
I'm
yeah, do gotta
telling
go
you,
back
dude. I keep telling people if you want your questions answered, man, like hang out for a live stream because we answer people's questions on the live streams, or at least we try. I try to get to everybody in the chat. But yeah, okay. Well, here's the part where you all click off the video before I plug everything. So, if you guys got value out of this live stream, don't forget to smash the like button. Please smash that like button. Let everybody else know that the content is good. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get notified the next time we go live. If you love the channel, it's the best thing that's ever happened to you. You want to support it, nurture it, watch it grow, sustain it. Go check out the Laser Master Academy. It's the #1 way to support the channel and everything we do here. You can find it over at masters.lasereverything.net. If you're already an LMA member, thank you so much for making this and all of our other content available for free for everybody. It wouldn't be here without you, so we all really appreciate you for that. We've thrown a ton of links out today. Check out the buying guide. It's lasereverything.net/buying guide if you have questions about what to buy. Go check out the second channel. It's youtube.com/lasereverythingelse. You can check out Matt's video on the Google My Business listings. Patrick's got a couple videos up there now. One about swapping out towers and such as kind of things. Kyle's got his jig episode coming out on the main channel. That'll be out really soon. My next episode about voltage testing will be out really soon. That's all shot. I just need to work on the script for that a little bit, and we'll have that uploaded. Kyle's Wisely laser review will be coming out soon. I don't even know. I need to a live stream in the next year or two. I need to do the SFX 60 watt M7 review. I haven't done that yet either, so we'll probably have another review coming out for the SFX 60 watt M7. Kyle's got
Glossary words.
Matt's got the Laser 101 video coming out, and we're going to start working on those glossary term shorts for you as well. So there's so much stuff. It's all coming at you from Laser Everything, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out for another live stream. We'll see you next week for sure with some new videos. And Kyle, maybe we'll sponge a live stream out of Kyle in the next day or two here. So keep an eye on your notifications wherever it is you get notified about the channel. Links to the Discord and Facebook group down below. That's all I've got. Thanks for hanging out with me, hosts. I appreciate your time as well. I always have a blast with these. I love just hanging out and shooting the shit. I feel like these are the most fun to shoot. So
Appreciate it, man. Good times. Also, all 40 people stayed for the
I know. I made them. I guilt tripped them into it. This is the only time that'll ever happen. We love you guys.
You guys just stuck it out.
Yep.
You're the real awesome people. We love you.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you on the next one.
See you in the next one.